Hello everyone, welcome in our workshop. Today I'll be showing you something new, the Record Power Deluxe 3-piece small project set with the Ring Mandrel Kit, which I received for testing from Tobi, the official Record Power distributor in Slovenia. This set is designed for all those who enjoy making smaller projects, pens, rings, handles, jewelry or other detailed turning work. First, I'll show you the set in detail and then we'll test it in action while making a fountain pen from epoxy resin and pine cones and later finishing a wooden ring. The kit includes 3 different turning tools and a few accessories. A parting tool 3.2 mm, a round carbide tool 16 mm, a skew chisel 12.7 mm, a mandrel, a bearing mounted live center and bushings for both pens and rings, fitting about 95% of ring sizes. All tools have a shorter 9-inch, about 23 cm Pro Comfort handle that fits comfortably in the hand and offers great control. They're all made in the UK, ensuring quality and precision. The chisels are well balanced and very comfortable to use, but I have 2 small suggestions. Instead of the parting tool, it might be more practical to include a small spindle gouge, which is more versatile for small projects. Also, if the parting tool were tapered toward the middle, it would generate less heat and friction during longer cuts. After showing the chisels, I'll open the Mandrel kit. The whole set is neatly packed in a plastic storage box, which keeps all the components protected and dust-free. When I'm done working, I simply close the box and everything stays clean and ready for the next project. The kit contains everything you need for accurate mounting of small workpieces. First, there's a hex key, which allows me to secure or adjust the mandrel shaft. It can be extended or shortened depending on the project. Then there's the bearing live center, which allows smooth, friction-free rotation. When I slightly loosen the screw, you can clearly see the adjustable shaft, which can be positioned perfectly for different projects. The kit also includes 5 bushings for pen turning. These standard bushings fit most common pen kits. And finally, there are the ring bushings designed by Record Power to fit around 95% of all ring sizes. So with one kit, I can handle almost any small-scale turning project. Here you can see how I mount the mandrel into the headstock, while the bearing live center goes into the tailstock. This setup ensures perfect alignment and smooth rotation without pressure, ready for precise work. That was a quick overview of both sets. Now let's move to the practical part. I'll be making a fountain pen from epoxy resin and pine cones. The blanks were previously cut to the correct length, and I've glued copper tubes inside, which come with every pen or pencil kit. It's important to note that bushings must be purchased separately depending on the pen model you're making. To start, I use the round carbide chisel to shape the upper part of the pen. I begin on the right side of the blank and remove material gently to create the basic shape. When turning epoxy resin, it's important to use higher lathe speed and avoid pressing too hard, otherwise the resin can tear and the mandrel may start to vibrate. The carbide cutter makes very clean cuts and produces a smooth finish even when working at lower speeds. The advantage of this tool is that it can be used for both flat surfaces and gentle curved transitions, which is perfect for small projects like pens or handles. Even when working with epoxy resin, it holds its edge much longer than a traditional steel chisel. Upper part is now roughly shaped. Next, I move to the left side of the blank, where I shape the pen cap section. I use the skew chisel, making controlled, careful cuts to achieve the correct diameter. It's worth noting that the skew chisel isn't ideal for epoxy. As the resin quickly dulls the edge, it performs much better on wood. That's why I use a light touch, allowing the tool to do the cutting without hitting the surface. When the blank is shaped into a cylinder, I use the parting tool again to define the final thickness on both sides. After that, I refine the final curves, first with the skew, then with the round carbide chisel to achieve a completely smooth surface. The carbide tool cuts beautifully through the combination of epoxy and pine cones without tearing. Before sanding, I fill small holes that appear in the pine cones using 2-part superglue. Once the glue hardens, I make a few final passes with the round carbide chisel to smooth and level both parts completely. Here I already have both pen parts sanded and coated with the final finish. You can see the full sanding and finishing process in the video clip in the top right corner. Once the surface is dry, I remove the bushings using the parting tool to gently separate both parts. After removing the bushings, the pieces are ready for assembly. I take the metal fittings, press them into the blanks, add the nib, ink cartridge and cup, and the pen is complete. The combination of pine cones and epoxy resin creates a stunning natural pattern, making every pen completely unique. Once the surface is dry, I remove the bushings, using the parting tool to gently separate both parts. After removing the bushings, the pieces are ready for assembly. I take the metal fittings, press them into the blanks, add the nib, ink cartridge and cup, and the pen is complete. The combination of pine cones and epoxy resin creates a stunning natural pattern, making every pen completely unique. Now that the fountain pen is finished, I'd like to show you another type of small project, something that's become quite popular among wood turners lately, wooden rings. They may look small, but they require a lot of precision, especially when combining wood with metal or epoxy. I'm curious, have you ever tried turning a ring on your lathe? If not, this might be the perfect time to start. Because with the Record Power Ring Mandrel Kit, it's easier and much safer than you might think. So, in the next part, I'll demonstrate how the system works and how I use it to finish a wooden ring made from olive wood on a stainless steel base. First, I'll show you a small finished ring I made for my wife. This one is size 7. I place it on the rotating mandrel so you can see how firmly it holds during turning. Now I'll demonstrate how the ring mandrel system works. As an example, I use a previously made ring which I'll only finish and smooth. The ring is made from a stainless steel base with a wooden inlay of olive wood. First, I select the bushing that best fits the ring's inner diameter. These bushings come in various sizes and are designed to fit about 95% of all ring sizes. Once I find the correct one, I slide it onto the mandrel, then gently push the ring over it until it locks securely. When the ring is properly seated, I insert the mandrel into the headstock and place the bearing alive center on the other side. This setup allows the ring to spin perfectly true and vibration-free. With this method, I can safely finish the ring without risking damage to the inner edge or shape. Now I'll smooth the surface lightly and remove small imperfections to prepare it for the final protective coating. This RecordPower Ring Mandrel system is an excellent accessory. It allows quick ring changes, precise mounting and great stability, which is crucial for this kind of detailed work. And that's the finished ring. As you can see, the Ring Mandrel holds the workpiece firmly and allows precise, stable turning even at higher speeds. Both the Deluxe 3-piece small project set and the Ring Mandrel Kit performed exceptionally well. They are very useful for anyone who enjoys making pens, rings or other small projects where precision and control matter most. If you're looking for a reliable, high-quality setup for small projects that combines accuracy, comfort and versatility, I can highly recommend these RecordPower kits. Thanks to their smart design and solid build, they're a great addition to any workshop. A big thank you to Tobi, the official RecordPower distributor in Slovenia, for allowing me to test these sets. If you'd like to learn more, you'll find the links below in the video description. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and leave a comment telling me which project you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.